very beginning, there was nothing. Imagine an emptiness so complete, it's hard for our minds to even grasp. No sky, no oceans, no sound, no light, just a silent, vast darkness. But this was not the end of the story. It was the very first page, and into this infinite quiet, a voice spoke, the first words ever to echo through the universe. God said, "Let there be light." And just like that, with those 4 simple words, everything changed. Darkness, which had reigned supreme, was shattered. Light exploded into existence, spreading like a magnificent golden sunrise, washing over the endless void. It was the first dawn, the birth of brightness itself. This wasn't just any light. It was the very essence of good, of clarity, of a new beginning. On this very first day, God didn't just create light, He gave it purpose. He masterfully separated the light from the darkness. He drew a line, creating a rhythm that would define existence forever. He looked at the brilliant, radiant light and called it day, and the deep, restful darkness He called night. And so, the first cycle of evening and morning began, marking the completion of day 1. The cosmic clock had started ticking. Then came day 2. With the rhythm of day and night established, God turned His attention to the vast expanse. He spoke again, and a great space began to form, a magnificent dome stretching out like a brilliant blue canvas. He called this expanse sky. This wasn't just an empty space, it was a grand design. He separated the waters, dividing the moisture in the atmosphere above from the great bodies of water that were gathering below. A breathable, beautiful atmosphere was born, creating the stage for the next wondrous acts of creation. The world was beginning to take shape, layer by beautiful layer. On day 3, the world's landscape was sculpted. God commanded the waters below the sky to gather into one place, and as they receded, something new appeared. Dry ground. He called the dry ground land, and the gathered waters He called seas. And God saw that it was good. But He didn't stop there. This new land was a blank canvas, and He began to paint it with life. He spoke, and the earth brought forth vegetation. Lush green grass carpeted the ground. Plants of every shape and size sprouted, and flowers bloomed in a riot of color. Towering trees grew, bearing fruit with seeds inside them, each according to its kind. The earth was no longer just rock and water. It was alive, fragrant, and bursting with potential. Day 4 arrived, and God turned His gaze upward, to the vast sky He had created. It was time to adorn it. He said, "Let there be lights in the expanse of the sky, to separate the day from the night." And He made 2 great lights. The greater light, the sun, to govern the day, and the lesser light, the moon, to govern the night. He also made the stars. Think about that. He didn't just scatter them randomly. He placed each one with purpose, like a master artist setting priceless jewels in a velvet setting. These celestial bodies were not just for beauty. They were for signs, for seasons, for days, and for years. They became our calendar, our compass, and a constant reminder of the order and grandeur of the universe. With the sky, land, and seas beautifully arranged, day 5 ushered in a new kind of life, creatures that could move and sing. The oceans, which had been silent, suddenly teemed with life. God spoke, and the waters swarmed with living creatures. Fish of every color and size, magnificent whales, and countless sea creatures began to explore the depths. At the same time, the sky was filled with a new kind of wonder. Birds of every feather took flight, soaring through the air, and for the first time, the earth heard a new sound, the sound of song. As birds filled the air with their beautiful melodies, the world was now not just a place of sight and scent, but of sound and movement. Day 6 was the grand crescendo of creation. The land, already covered in plants, was now ready for its inhabitants. God said, "Let the land produce living creatures according to their kinds." And from the earth came animals of every shape and size, majestic lions, enormous elephants, graceful deer, and tiny insects. The world was now filled with a vibrant, diverse community of creatures, crawling, walking, and roaming the earth. But the day was not yet over. God saved His most special creation for last. In a profound and personal act, God said, "Let us make mankind in our image, in our likeness." Unlike the rest of creation, which was spoken into existence, God formed man from the very dust of the ground. He knelt, like a potter with clay, and fashioned him with His own hands. Then, He did something extraordinary. He breathed His own breath, the breath of life, into the man's nostrils. and the man became a living being. He then created woman, a partner and a companion. He didn't just command them to exist. He crafted them personally, intimately. He blessed them and said, "You are made in my image." This was the pinnacle, the final masterpiece of his creative work. And then, on day 7, after 6 days of spectacular, universe-shaping work, God rested. Now, it's important to understand, this wasn't a rest because he was tired or exhausted. An infinite God doesn't get tired. He rested to set a pattern for us. He stopped his work to show us the importance of peace, of reflection, and of rhythm in life. He blessed the 7th day and made it holy, a special day set apart for rest and for connection with him. It was the final, perfect touch on a perfect week of creation, a divine pause, teaching us that even in a world of constant doing, there is a sacred beauty in simply being. From the first spark of light to the final holy rest, the story of creation is a breathtaking account of purpose, design, and love. Thank you so much for joining me on this journey through the 7 days of creation. If this story inspires you, please consider liking this video and subscribing to our channel for more content that explores the depths of faith and wonder. We'd love to have you as part of our community. See you in the next video.